continuing the trends of shifts in behavior, we're going to talk about Coinbase, who are going public. We've known this for some time, but actually they just submitted their paperwork to the SEC. They did the S1 filing. And with that, we gain insights into stuff we never knew before. So I brought an article from TechCrunch called The 5 Takeaways from Coinbase's S1 Filing. And unfortunately, it's behind a paywall, but I will summarize what you need to know. So again, Coinbase has been historically secretive about their user base and how much money they're generating. Now we know that they're doing really well. As they say in the article, that Coinbase S1 is out, and hot damn, did the company have a good fourth quarter. TechCrunch has a first look at the company's headline numbers. But in case you've been busy, the key things to understand is that Coinbase was an impressive company in 2019 with more than $500 million in revenue and a modest net loss. In 2020, the company grew sharply to more than $1.2 billion in revenue, providing it with lots of net income. Again, they're growing exponentially. They at any given time have a user base around 1 million people who trade. So we don't know how many are just there, how many are watching. We know that from like social media, that some apps are being consumed where people, they never actually do the intended behavior, but they're still there. Like we see that a lot with CanopyLAB. Like people log in to take courses, but then there are all these people that log in again and again and again, and they never take a course. We kind of thought, that's odd, like that's a failure. But they keep logging in and they're reading other people's stuff. So if you don't have Coinbase, the Coinbase app, you can actually do a lot of other stuff in there too. So I use Coinbase, and I'm super thankful. They were the first, they introduced me to my first trading ever in the history of Sahra-Josephine. I'd never traded anything. Now I also have traded, I own some Bumble stock. They're not doing so well, I'll say that. But it's more like ideological when I buy stuff. Like, you know, when you drive a Tesla and stuff. I do ideological purchases as well.
Something I recently discovered is that actually all of these apps, different apps that offer you to buy cryptocurrencies, they actually sell it to you on a different price. I thought it's a fixed price, like a Bitcoin is 50,000 and you get 1 Bitcoin for 50,000 every time.
Yeah, that's not how it works, yeah. And also like their trading fees are different and stuff. So when I actually went out and bought Bumble, I did this time, I checked a lot of how much the transactional cost is of buying it and getting rid of it as well. That's another thing you have to be aware of in addition to what price they're doing it at. But so the Coinbase app, it also, in addition to curating an overview of, like, you know, whatever, all the stuff that's happening, it also has a curated news section in the bottom where you can see what's happening with each of the different currencies and what's, yeah. So actually, I use it quite a lot. And obviously, those of you who have crypto, you know, the last couple of days, it's been kind of a roller coaster. But I started thinking about it. So, I mean, I'm still taking a huge profit, so I'm excited. But I started thinking about it in a different way. How many times per day do I log in to see fluctuations? Quite a lot. So I now view it as like an entertainment subscription, you know, just like Netflix or Disney Plus. So when you go to, like, you know, a roller coaster in the amusement park, like, I'm actually getting so much out of it. It's an experience to be a part of it, in addition to me so far making money.
Or you're actually losing so much into it.
Yeah, it's also taking time. But I think I think for me, it becomes like a life upscaling thing, because then I get curious about what are some of the new currencies. And then I read a lot of the news sections about what they are, why they're doing well, what makes the prices fluctuate and things like that. So I feel like I'm getting smarter. Whereas I increasingly so on my Facebook feed feel like I'm not getting smarter. And if eventually they like end up, due to some of the problems that's been with like the Australian government, where they kind of like take out news, put news back, you know, it's kind of schizophrenic here.
This whole thing sounded very much like an advertisement we're doing for Coinbase, but we're not paid by
We're not advertising for Coinbase. There are many problems with Coinbase. I have mentioned this previously in the show, that if you, for example, for some reason can't remember your password, it's really difficult to get back in. You go in these circles. And then like I learned that like one thing to never do, if you for some reasons have problems with Coinbase, don't go to Coinbase's any social media and try to write in a public place, because that's basically the same as like telling people you have crypto and where, and then they'll try to hack you and steal your crypto. So that's something like, you know, like 2 seconds after I post, like, because there are a lot of people had posted, you guys have shit customer service. You know, like the loop of getting back in once you're out is impossible. like get it together. You know, like it's totally unacceptable behavior for a company that's going to be listed. So everyone's writing like, I'm having problems too. I'm having problems. And I'm like, I'm having problems too. And then like 2 minutes after, someone tries to log into my wallet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huge
Damn.
mistake, right? And it's like, it's so obvious. It's just one of those rookie mistakes. Like this morning, one of our staff sends me a text. I'm in a meeting. She's like, did you just ask me to buy a bunch of gift cards on iTunes? And I was like, no, of course I didn't. And she's like, just checking. And then obviously again, someone's like trying to scam. And it's like everywhere it's happening now. So we got to stay vigilant. Even like CEOs of tech companies are sometimes like, you know, we make mistakes and sometimes we almost get lured into making some mistakes. Anyways, I'm not gonna buy any stocks from Coinbase when they IPO because it doesn't fit my criteria, because I invest very ideologically in companies I think will make a profit, but are also doing a really big difference for the planet and for society. And there, I don't think that they don't fulfill, like, for example, with Bumble, dating company led by women, promoting women and their empowerment and sense of urgency in picking their own partner. And then she just had like first women on the cover of a magazine, like a tech magazine, while pregnant, going IPO with baby on her arm. I mean, I'm a sucker for that story. Coinbase.
That's interesting.
Oh, I mean, she is like huge idol of mine. So I found that, you know, that's where I want to put my money. I'm sure a lot of other dudes are going to put their money in Coinbase, and I think it's going to be a good investment.